So this video is the hair transplant journey. Joseph is very kind and nice enough to share his full face, but now he's gonna share his experience with the audience, what hair transplant journey, his journey, personal journey, what's it look like. Now before he does that, I'm gonna show the audience what his photo looked like before that. Again, when you lose hair, you start losing your look, and you look, and especially receding hairline, you start to look a little bit more mature, and it throw your look off with a receding hairline. But when you have a smaller forehead, it frames the face better, and you look completely different, younger, and brought back his handsome look as well. Again, below that, and a smaller forehead, and you see very natural. Right hand side, right hand side. Left hand side, left hand side. Top view, you see the extent of his hair loss. Again, this is not only about density, it's about art as well. Now, I'm gonna leave the stage to Joseph to share his experience with the audience. Go ahead. Why don't we start from the beginning? How hair loss affected you and your research about my clinic and how you stumbled at why you chose my clinic too.
First and foremost, thank you, Dr. Diep, for having me. But as far as the hair loss, definitely affected my confidence over the years. Always kind of conscious when you're talking with them, they're looking on top of your head, and you know that you're kind of balding, right? Found different ways to kind of hide it, but ultimately, I made a decision to do something about it. Other than the traditional route of putting in fillers and whatnot. So I stumbled across, through Google, like what everyone is doing, and I saw his video on YouTube. But I also checked out all the other options that's out there, whether it's flying to some third world country and maybe saving some money and doing it that way, or other doctors throughout the U.S. or down south. I found, through many testimonies that have gone through Dr. Diep, they really felt that he has the artistry and the science behind doing it with the right, sorry, I messed up.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'd rather you being natural and just said it. But what Joseph was saying that, with hair transplant, what he's looking for is to have the best result, and in order to have the best result, he paid attention to how natural my hairline is.
Right.
And so he noticed that I focus based on the artistry of the hairline.
Right.
And it's obvious he see that quite a bit of density is involved, and density is important to get your look, and you feel that you have a hair transplant done correctly. To give you the most dense look, and everybody want to achieve that. But what separate my work is how natural the hairline is. And that's what Joseph is. And all my video, I don't like to edit. I want it all real. So if it doesn't not perfect, that's fine. I rather you being real. And so that's that. So why don't you and then so after you watch all the video and all the stuff, and so once you made the deposit and move forward, can you share with the audience what's the glimpse of surgery they like, if you remember? Because I know I drug patient. I give patient quite a bit drug.
Yeah, it's been over a year now, but I do remember I was a little bit nervous coming in, but I knew I was in good hands. Right? I knew that Dr. Diep is someone who has a lot of great experience. There's been so many testimonies of people who have done it, and it's definitely, from my perspective, very believable. So I entrusted, me to him and his staff, and throughout the whole experience, he and his staff was very professional. I was at ease, and I trusted him, and obviously it turned out great, as we see today. And so the experience was very positive, even though, like everyone else, it's going to be kind of nerve-wracking because this is a huge anticipation, because it's a huge change that I was looking toward.
Yeah, because when you lose hair, it affects you mentally, right? And not just physically. And so when we experience surgery or we undergo surgery, and patient is very nervous because they know they're going through physically and go surgery, but it affects them quite a bit, psychologically as well. So they go through all that, And I totally understand. And every patient before surgery, they get pretty nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we give patients, antibiotic to prevent infection, but we give them Xanax and Valium to help them relax. We don't put them under though. And so then it calms them down, stay still, because surgery is long.
Yes.
And the fact that my surgery is around 10 to 12, even 16 hour,
Mm-hmm.
but being on Xanax and Valium, you're in the la la land most of the time. So your mind is what?
Right.
It's
It was very relaxed, and I do remember waking up and having a nice lunch, and then we were back at it.
yeah.
And really, it was almost like a non-event for me.
Yeah, well, that's great. See, and again, with that, it helps a lot. And so your mind, with the perception, is around 2 to 3 hours,
Yeah.
and some patients just feel like it just breezes through.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I want to take my time and do it right, because some other clinic, well, they start around 10 o'clock and they'll be done around 2 to 4 or 2 to 3 o'clock, and then they take an hour lunch. So the surgery is around what, 4, 5, 6 hours? It's not. If you want to do it correctly, this is around a long 12, 10 hours, 16 hours, whatever it takes.
Right.
Because for me, I'm very passionate about my work, and I want to make sure that every patient that I work on is like my canvas, my work of art, right? And so
You take a lot of pride into it, and
Yeah.
it definitely shows.
yeah. And when did the hair come in for you, Joseph?
That's a great question. I mean, probably maybe about a month later,
Uh-huh.
but really I saw evidence of it, weeks later. In fact,
Uh-huh.
a few months later, the result did show up, but then
Uh-huh.
it started dropping out a little bit. But
Uh-huh.
I would say month 3 and 4, that's
Uh-huh.
when I can really see the progress in the hair.
Great.
I followed the routine to the T of what Dr. Diep recommended, and I didn't miss one day of the routine that he. And as long as I did that, I saw the result and the progress that it came about.
Yeah, I'm glad, because it's after surgery is now everything is up to you.
Right.
The ball is in your court. So you have to take good care of my work, because I can't be there, and
It's
so-
fragile. I mean,
yeah.
we just had surgery, and any of these, I was always concerned that, I might lose some of the graft.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how come some of these falling out? But
Yeah.
and I call him up, and oh, it's natural,
Uh-huh.
But as long as you do it right, I felt like okay, just it's part of the progress.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and the recovery can be nerve-wracking,
It
and
is.
not just before that, because once you see the hair shedding,
right.
it freaks you out. You say, oh my God, I spent all this money, where is it gone?
Yeah. Is it gonna stay or what?
Yeah, or does it really grow back? You
Right?
tell.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that you know that, and you know that it's gonna grow back, but it's this scary feeling. And again, it's a psychological stuff too, as I mentioned, more than just physical stuff that you went through.
Right. Because I also had to hide it too. Like sometimes I went to meet some people, I had to wear like a beanie or something like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't want to snag it or whatnot.
Yeah.
But it all worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, Joseph, I personally thank you to allow me to show the viewers the full face. Even eyebrows enough, I'll be happy. But feeling full face is really more effective, because you really see and understand the difference, how it can change a person's face.
Right.
And I tell all my clients, one of the greatest satisfaction of my life and of this job is to be able to see how my work of art transform you and give you a positive effect, and it give you your hair, your look, and your youth back, and your self-esteem as well, and that's that's.
I can fully attest to that.
Yeah.
I feel much more confident when I'm talking with people. When I'm meeting with partners and whatnot, or speaking in front of a group. In fact, I just came back from a commercial real estate event where I spoke in front of hundreds of people, and so really feel confident when I'm actually talking in front of people, and when I'm talking face to face, I don't have to worry about them looking on top of my head. In fact, they say, wow, you got a nice set of hair.
Yeah.
It looks so natural.
Yeah.
But it feels good when people compliment you as well, and you do feel much more youthful. You feel more energetic. I can tell you it has really impacted my life very positively, and I wouldn't have this feeling right now without you, Dr. Diep, so thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. And again, if you guys follow my YouTube video, I don't edit my video. It's everything is raw, and so you know, and I just wanna be make it real. It's a real video, and it's a natural way, and but you know to show the result in how it should be. You know, I don't want to have a video where it's all edited and it doesn't look perfect, right? So, and again, thank you for watching all this video and observe my work, and stay tuned. I will continue upload more video for the audience to see. Thank you.